Hello and welcome. It is currently the 17th day of May 2021, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and amongst the like, each his own risk and their own rewards. Starting off within the silver market, the price of silver almost 29 United States dollars, and a great day so far. But before we get to the daily term, let's show the more longer weekly term chart, which within the start of the current situation the world's in, it had its breakdown a little over a year ago. A failed breakdown at that for sure. Getting above the 18 average about a year ago. And what a move it was. So basically it started a year ago. I see May 18th as a date stamp. That's the time we have right now. Or date. So 1 year from here, this is what's happened. Price is up about $10. But it all happened. I mean, it topped at like August the 3rd. So all of June and July. So 2 months and a bit more is how long the move took. And then 1 year minus 2 months and a bit has been this correctionary phase. And it hasn't even came down to a 38.2% correction. Almost a couple times and way back when. For it pierced extra in September, and then again it pierced and had a little less extra in October, and then back a little more extra again in November. Or about a 50% retracement down to about 22 change. It had a rally back up to previous high early on in the calendar year, but then it retraced back, making a higher low and really a perfect hit amongst a 23% exponential Fibonacci high divided by low, which is this high and this low, to the exponent of this is 0.764, which represents 23.6, the opposite direction. And then multiply the low again. And then, of course, that's 23.94. But as far as the setup is concerned, okay, so a few weeks ago, we got past that level. We had on the May 3rd weekly stamp, a small attempt at getting above the 18 average of highs, barely doing so. But last week, what a great hold week. And this week, showing signs of excitation after it already hit this level once the original time, a retest a second time, so this is the third time back after this nice higher low hit. I like the probability odds that silver's going to go sky high. Well, it's going to have a good move. I mean, sky high fly is what I'm talking about, like monster moves, and I'm not. I mean, that's when silver goes like 200, 300, 400, but and then anything beyond. On the monthly term time frame, it's looking a lot of the same sort of deal. Key high, and there's a lot of these key highs and lows, but from the low in 2000, whatever, the early years, and then a move within the secular trend from point A to point B high. There was this 2008 nonsense, we'll call it, but I'm saying nonsense as far as the charts are concerned. And yeah, well, failed breakdown and the move higher. And it was just a retest of 1980. I've covered that before. I'm not going to get into that again. I got a lot of things to go over. But key high, key low. So an attempt to get above the 18 average here, yeah, not so great at that time. Another attempt, and yeah, but before that, of this first failed breakdown first, and this one here. Not quite to the 18 average of highs here, but as it goes, definitely quite here on the November 2 step. So there's been about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so months doing this, and the more time, and this doesn't a significant larger amount of time periods, which I consider this to be, I wouldn't be surprised on the breakout of this if it's a concise, fast move. So will we see in the next couple months like 40, 50 silver in the next, which is the next level of resistance? I would not be surprised if in such is the case. Let's move on to Bitcoin. It's in at 44,891, so we'll call it 45, and on the monthly chart, down this month right now at that of 22%, as within the daily term, price action, and actually didn't show silver on the daily, did I? I wanted to do that. I'll get to, and I want to show gold too. So, but before we do that, I'll go back into silver again afterwards. This Bitcoin, that is. But price action in here, we can see when it came out the 18 average on April the 30th, above it that is, had a higher low move, and then it showed strength amongst the 18 average of highs for about 4 or 5 periods, and then that didn't work. And in here, still no major concern on the May 10th and 11th, but as this quite happened, because I mean you can make a higher low and break above the highs, just didn't happen. When it broke down below this lows, it did not support. I mean, it kind of did support this level, but only for the first time. Well, it didn't support it well, with the exception of this little bit here. It rallied up fast, but not for that long. Then it comes right back down again, breaks through. we've been seeing here within this period here that there's been resistance at this previous level already once, and we've now made a low within today's session, or on the session on Monday, at 42,100. This low in here in March the 1st is 45,000 or 43,000. I seen a 43 in here. 43,021. So marginally piercing lower than this one and going to levels not seen since the start of the second week of February, or a little over 3-month lows. And again, the long-term time frame is such overextended that it still has a decent ways to go if there's going to be any kind of significant correction. As of now, kind of a pause month this month, and if it doesn't go down much more, it still has that kind of potential too, but it does now have a long ways to go. We look at this back on the daily term, which I started, for this to have any type of bull market sentiments when we have this really newly declining 18 average at a decent rate at about 53,000. So it has to hold and stay above like 56, 57 for now, and even get above this previous high from the start of May before I can be very optimistic. Back to silver again now, because I didn't show the daily chart, which again just shows more of that sideways correction we've had for quite some time. But you see, once you get above this key level resistance, which was 28 low change, that the markets can just go. And we can see here, breakout on this level here, significant move, a nice little move up to the sideways consolidation as well. Let's take a quick look at gold. Similar look here on the hourly, well, not really, but really, as far as just up move, sideways up move here. And a lot of bullish sentiments here on these charts as well. Daily chart, nice little breakout of this resistance in here. On the weekly chart, a price action since what's been stuck pretty much in the average 18 average band and below it. So lower highs, lower lows. But now it's now made a move above the 18 average of highs. So as far as key Fibonacci, 2089 divided by, I'm not going to calculate it though right now, 1673 to the roots of the exponents. But linear Fibonacci would work pretty much just as good because you get pretty much the same numbers, because not that big of volatility in here. On any type of retracements on the way move, on any type of corrections from here, whatever this high goes to, 61.8% is pretty much a must hold. And just generally looking at this now, if this were to top like 1755, if there's weakness there, if this falters, then I would expect it to go down to like 1500 change. But for now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this thing is ready for a full-fledged breakout. As I mentioned within the silver chart, having that long sideways consolidation. I mean, the same thing is the case with gold in here. As we can see, the high was made last August in here, and has just been making all of these lower highs and lower lows. But when you look at the move, you have like, I mean, lame ass moves is like this one in here. Whatever on that, but what I'm referring to, of course, as the only previous move it had from before was in here, where it made a couple higher highs and higher lows on the shorter term time frame, and it's making a couple more right now on this one, meaning it's had a better run from that one in before. So I think what's important here is this level of resistance is looking to me where the target level for where this move, at least I think, should have a good chance of going towards. And I also think that's where we need to see any major breaks above that to have any major confidence on the long-term time frame. But as it goes on the weekly, I love the setup here as it's breaking out. As on the monthly, you see this thing start to go like 1900 change to 2000. It would be a beautiful excitation of the 18 average of highs. And I'm going to do just one altcoin against Bitcoin, and that will be Theta. Interesting setup. We'll see what happens. But it's in a fantastic uptrend. It's just as it is. There's a key low, key high, and its sideways consolidation has been well, from the end of March, close to 2 months, making a pattern of lower lows to this and then higher lows since then. Discounting this high, it made a bunch of lower highs, and well, now I got this one higher than here, and this one's now higher than that. 18 average of lows barely starting to rise, and right now the 18 average of highs is going to be barely doing the same thing as well. So that would be just an interesting setup, because to me, with the breakout like this, I think this thing is ready to go for some fantastic moves. And 4-hour chart, yeah, just showing more of the sideways consolidation. Weekly term time frame though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9, 10 periods of showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs. It's on period 5 of doing that here. I mean, if it breaks and starts going higher, you just have excitation and stuff like that. And it is what it is as far as what the markets do, because when it comes down to it, it's always going to be that of only price pays. The market doesn't care if you win a lot, lose a lot, break even, or do whatever. It's just gonna execute whatever trade bids and ask orders happen to be played upon. And within markets like this, obviously we can see that the buyers are in control of, well, markets like this one. It would be crazy stuff, I think, if we have any significant breaks above this. And if we do, I mean, you could be seeing like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x, 10x moves from here. 100,000, 120, 150, 180, 200. And those things are realistic and Satoshi numbers, which is what would translate to 10x. For 2200, way back in here, I mean, this was 10x from this lower area here, the support of like last July. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.